I got my score up to a 766. I'm still in that neighborhood now. I just bought another car. Just bought a new car. So your credit score is going to fluctuate over time. All right, depends on certain things. If you go to rent an apartment, they're gonna pull your credit. All right, and that's gonna knock it down because that's inquiry on your credit. Okay, you just don't want too many hard inquiries on your credit because that knocks your score down. But certain little things like that you need to have, that's all right because you can build that back up. All right, that take over a couple of months, 3, 4, 5 months. You'll build that back up. It's not gonna be an issue. Car, if you're gonna need a car, they're gonna pull your credit score for that. All right, same thing. So what I'm saying is, you got to learn how to be wise. All right, let's get into it. Let's continue on. This is good stuff. This is good here. This is good. All right. FICO scores take into account various factors in 5 areas to determine credit worthiness. Your payment history. Make sure you pay all your bills on time. On time. You hear what I said? I'm going to say it again. Pay your bills on time. Or, I'm going to tell you better yet, pay it before time. Make sure the money's in there and send that bill off and make sure it's there before time. That way, it's your credit. That's one of the major areas of making your credit score go up. Is paying your bills on time. All my bills that I have, my credit card, 100%. Have not missed a payment in over 3 years. Going into 4 years. Because I have gotten to my mind, if somebody is going to give me that much responsibility for me and give me money or lend me a credit line, I'm going to be responsible and I'm going to pay it on time. You know what? God is so good. I'm going to tell you what happened. As I was paying all these bills off over the period of time, and I did pay all my bills off over the last 3 years. You know what? I had a 2009 Toyota Camry, all right? And I was planning, my goal was to keep that car until the wheels fell off, right? Car was in excellent condition. But I'm going to tell you what happened when was it? It was last October. Last October, I was sitting at my client's house. I was in his yard. I went to pick him up. And I was sitting there talking to his brother about life and trying to encourage him about certain things like how he needs to, he had been in jail. And I trying to explain to him, encourage him how he needs to, how he can change his life around and not to go back to that life again. And all of a sudden, I smelled something in the car burning. And, I really didn't pay much mind to it, but I don't smoke, and I don't allow nobody to smoke in my car. But I thought maybe it was somebody that's coming past in a car that their muffler was burning, get smoke from the muffler. And then my client came outside, and he said, "Mr. Tyrone, you smell that?" I said, "Yeah, what is that?" He said, "I think it's in your car." I said, "What?" So I looked at my dashboard, and all my lights were lit up on the dashboard. But the car, I had never turned the car off. The car was running, and all of a sudden the car had shut off. Come to find out, my son came up. He said, "Dad, something is in your dash or something behind here is burning." So I called the Toyota. I called the tow truck and to take it to the Toyota dealer to see if they can check out to see what was going on with the vehicle. Well, got it to Toyota. A day later, they called me and they said, "We can't touch your car. You have a major electrical problem going on. You had electrical fire, and we're not going to be able to do nothing with the car." Lord have mercy. Now, listen to what I'm saying now. Listen to what I'm saying. I got to a friend of mine's house that does car repair and things of that nature, and he has another guy that does basically work on cars. So they were able to get into the car, and finally, come to find out, they got into the car and got into the dash, and sure enough, I had electrical fire behind the odometer, and I called insurance, and they totaled the car out. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened. I was able to go get me a rental car, no problem. My credit was good, had a credit card, no issue whatsoever, right? But I'm going to tell you how good God is. After the rental car, because the insurance is only going to allow you to have the rental car booked for so long, a week, maybe 2 weeks, until they get the adjuster out there to see what's going on, to evaluate, give you a value of a car, give you the value of the car, if they're going to total the car out or not. And if they're going to total the car out, then they'll let you know what's going on. So I started looking around for a car, and what happened was I went to a car dealer. And I love Toyotas. I love Toyota cars. I love them. The Camry. But at that time, I said, well, I'm going to get me a Toyota Avalon. And because I love Toyotas. And I said, well, I'm going to go a step up and get an Avalon. But they didn't get me they didn't get it. I couldn't find it in the price range because I don't believe in buying a brand new car. And I'm gonna tell you why. And maybe we'll teach on this one day. If you get a brand new car and ride it off a lot, you're gonna automatically lose $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 off the bat when you ride that car off the lot. The car depreciates just that quick. Because when you bring it back, they're not gonna give you the same price you pay for that car. So what you got to do, and what I've learned by talking to people over the years, that if you get a car that's 2 or 3 years old, it's still brand new and it still has the warranty, you don't lose the depreciation value on the vehicle. And you still got a brand new vehicle, right? You still got a brand new vehicle, and you still got the same warranty on the person that initially bought it, right? Because 9 times out of 10, you get a car that's 2 or 3 years old. 9 times out of 10, it's a leased vehicle. It's still a brand new vehicle. They can only put so many miles on that vehicle. You see what I'm saying? So you don't lose. You really actuality you gaining. You see what I'm saying? So I said this to say that. Say this. When I went to the car dealership, and I told them I seen the car that I like. And I said, well, you got to give me a week or so until this thing gets settled with the insurance, and then I'll come back. And I told her I want the car. I told the young lady I wanted the car. I wasn't pulling no lady, because if I tell you something, I'm a person of my word. So finally, I came in. I called her. I came into the office that day, and she said, well, no, she called me. She said, well, why don't I just run your credit report? You say you got good credit. I said, yeah, I have excellent credit. She said, well, give me about 15 minutes and I'll call you back and I'll see what happens. I wouldn't have no problem with it. So, after she got the phone, 3 minutes later, she called me back. Mr. Holmes, you've been approved with no money down. I said, okay, praise be to God. Hallelujah. She said, you don't need no money. You get anything that you want. It's yours. I said this to say that. It felt so good to have that freedom to go to get anything I want without no money down because my name was good. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Your FICO score and the way you manage your money is very, very important, because you can go anywhere in this country and get anything you want if you got a great name. Because you pay your bills on time, you do what you're supposed to do, and when emergency hit, you ain't got to worry about nothing. God, and I thank God for that, because it wasn't me that told me to get my act together. It was God. I know it wasn't me, because the way I lived and things I used to buy, I didn't care. I just spent money recklessly. All right, let's go on. Number 1, payment history. Number 2, current level of indebtedness. That means how much money are you in debt? How much money are you in debt? That means a big part of your credit score too. If your debt is high, if your debt is very high, that means your utilization is high. That means that you're going to be a risk, because you're using too much of your limit, of your credit utilization of your limit. All right, and that adds up to a percentage. I said you should not be using no more than 10 to 25% of your credit of your allotted money that you have on your credit limit. So if you have 3 or 4 cards, you need to add that up, and then 10 to 25% of that. That's what you can't go over. That's it. Anything above that, your credit score is going to start to diminish. All right, you're going to start suffering from that. All right. Types of credit cards. You need to have a variety of credit cards. You need to have a mix of credit cards. You need to have car loan, mortgage, some retail store cards. All right, maybe a student loan may be on there. You need to have a variety, because when you go to a lender, they want to see how you manage different types of credit. All right, and that shows them, well, he got different types of credit. He's handling it very well. So if you need a $5,000 or $10,000 loan, they see that you got good income coming in and you're doing what you're supposed to do, they ain't gonna have no issue with it. All right. Limit of credit history, which is very, very important. That's another key to that. How long have you had the credit cards? Don't get a credit card and say, I'll pay it off and then I'm going to cancel the card. Don't do that, because that counts against you. The longer you keep it, the longer you get it, the better it looks on your credit report. You can use it every once in a while, all right? But do not cancel the credit card. Keep it. I ain't saying that have 25 credit cards. You don't need that. I mean, you really only need 2 or 3 major cards. That's it. You get your MasterCard, get your Visa if you need one. If you have one major store credit card, that's fine. I have 3 major. I got 4 cards. I have a Discover card. I got American Express. I have a Visa, and I have a MasterCard. That's all I got in my wallet. That's all I need. That's it. And I use $25, $30 a day each month on this card. I pay it off, and that helps build the score back. Helps to build your score even more. Because the more you use it and wisely, and you're paying that bill off, that works for you. All right. And then lastly, new credit accounts. How many new accounts you got? You don't need to have a whole lot of new accounts, because if they see that you're opening a lot of accounts, they see that you're hungry and greedy for credit. You want to keep buying things. So the limit, you should if it's once a year you do one, that's fine. But if you don't need them every 2 years, you see what I'm saying? Because you don't need to have new accounts all the time. Because like I said, you only need 2 or 3 major cards in your wallet. That's it. I don't even have a gas card because I use my credit cards now because they give you cash back on things like gas and groceries. You can use those cards, the Master or the Visa or the Discover, or even American Express, which I just recently got. You can use that and they give you credit. So you don't need to have a gas card. All right? All right. Breaking down the FICO score. FICO scores range from 300 to 850. In general, scores above 650 indicate a very good credit history. If you get 650, you're on your way up. All right, get to 650, you're on your way up. I'm at 7 right now because I just bought the car. I just checked one this morning. I'm at 766. Now you're gonna have, and we're gonna talk about this. There are 3 major credit bureaus. You got Experian, you got Equifax, and you got TransUnion. Now, those 3 may vary. All right, so don't get upset. They may vary because different creditors may not report to certain. These may not report to all the credit bureaus. You may have some that report, some may not. They may report to another one. So your score may fluctuate, maybe 5, 6, 7, maybe 5 to 6 points, maybe here and there, not much. But that's how it is. So don't get upset about it. I was wondering about that myself, but don't get upset about that. All right, it's going to vary. Now, and also, like I said, if you take out a credit card, that's going to be an inquiry. All right, that's going to hit because that's an inquiry on your credit, and that's going to bring it down a little bit. But like I said, you can get it back up if you don't abuse it. All right. So those are things that you need to monitor when it comes to your credit score. All right. Calculating FICO scores. We just talked about this a minute ago. To determine credit scores, the Fair Isaac Corporation weighs each category differently for each individual. Everybody's different. However, in general, payment history, like we said, is 35% of the score. That's huge. 35% of your score is paying your bills on time. You got to pay the bills on time. If I don't say anything else about this, you got to pay your bills on time. And that comes down to budgeting your money and not buying things that you do not need. All right? 35% of your credit score depends on you paying your bills on time. All right? Accounts owed is 30%. You should owe more than 30%. What did I tell you about your utilization? That comes down to your credit utilization. If you have, now that's a little high. I would say stay between 25%. Don't go no higher than 25%. That's a little bit lean. But you can go 30, but I wouldn't go no higher than that. All right? How much you owe, because your utilization score is going, and that's going to affect your credit score because you're using too much of that you are allotted of. If you have 10,000 and you're using 5,000, you already have over, and so you way above. So your credit score is going to be affected for that. All right. The limit for the credit history is 15%. 15%. All right, of the credit history, meaning how long have you had the cards? How long have you had the accounts open? All right. New credit is 10%. 10%. So watch that very carefully. You don't need to keep applying for cards. Like I said, you don't need major cards. I'm gonna tell you how I did this, and this is a strategy I use. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. What I did when my first credit card, I was approved for I got my car first. I got my car. Not the car I got now. My Camry. When I had my Camry. I got that card. I had a high percentage rate because I was starting to rebuild my credit. But I paid on that car for about 6 or 7 months. I refinanced it, and then I applied for a Capital One credit card. All right, I didn't do a secure, but I applied for it, and I was approved for $300. And that's how it all started. It started with that $300, and whatever I got, I paid on it, and I paid it off. I kept paying on it. Then after a year, I applied for. I think I got a Credit One credit card, and they gave me like $500. So you got to start small. All right, you got to start small. Then as time went on, I was able to get a Discover card. Now, as over time, over that period of time, 2 years or so, they gave me $6,000 off the bat, $6,500 off the bat. Off the bat, they gave me. All right. Then I just recently got an American Express card, $6,500 off the bat. All right. So as time went on, the more responsible you get, the more money you will get. They'll give you in your credit score. So like I said, I got Discover, I got the Visa, I got American Express, and I got my MasterCard. All right? And plus I got my car loan. So I got different types of credit there. I mean, different types of accounts that I have a strong credit history. And if I really need something, like I just proved to you, when I went to get that car, they said, Mr. Holmes, you don't need nothing. You don't need no money. All you got to do is sign whenever you want the car. And I picked it up. I had to pay a dime. Thank you. Thanks. Praise be to God. All right. And then lastly, the credit mix. This is what I just said, 10% of that. Having a mixture of credit, mortgage, car note, it could be a store credit card, could be a Visa, whatever. You would need to have a mixture, not just on one little thing, because that's not showing that you can handle different types of credit. All right? All right. We ain't got to go through that. We already talked about understanding your score. Understanding your score. All right. Now, let me give you an example of the credit mix. I just said that. Retail accounts, credit cards, installment loans like your car. It could be your car note. All right. Signature loan or vehicle loans or mortgages. That's what you call a credit mix. That's a mix. That's a good mixture of credit. And when you really need something, they can look at that and say, oh, they handle everything. They got different lines of credit. They're doing very well. We can grant them this loan for such and such, such and such. All right? All right. Understanding your FICO score. Your FICO score, powered by Experian data, can range from 300 to 850. Like I said, there's three types of scores here. We got the Experian, we got the Equifax, and we got TransUnion. Are your three things. All right? All right. 300 to 850 can influence what credit is available to you. How much interest? That's very important. Now, if you got a bad name in your credit and you building your credit is not that good, you're going to pay more in your interest rate because you have not proven over time that you can pay your bills on time. Now, you may have one late payment or two, but that affects you in the long run. And you're going to pay a higher interest rate because they see that you iffy. So, well, they only missed one. They maybe missed two. Well, we'll give it to them, but they're going to have to pay a little bit more money. You see what I'm saying? So it's very, very important that you try to control your expenses and budget your money so your payment is paid on time. Or like I do, I pay my bills before time. Once I track my bills every day, all the time. I got it on my phone, and also I got it on my computer, so always checking. Once I make my payment, once I make a charge, as soon as they update and say due by such and such, within the next day or two, bam, it's paid. That's how you got to do it. But you got to have money in the bank to do those things. That's why I said, know your budget. Don't overextend yourself. All right? All right. Let's look at this thing here. How much interest you're paying, even things such as your utilities and mobile phone and phone options. All the stuff you got to figure in. All your household things that you deal with. Your phone, your utilities, your food, all right? Your cable television, your gas. All this stuff has to be factored into. You have to make a serious budget and see where your money is going to. So if you see that you want something and you don't have the money, don't buy it. Don't buy it. If you can't afford to pay that bill off, at the end of the month or within 2 payments, don't buy it. Save the money up until you get it, and then use the credit card. Then when the bill comes, you got the money sitting there, pay it off. That's a smart way to do it. All right? Knowledge about your credit. You should have knowledge about your credit, about the impact it has on your future, because it's very, very important. It can, what I said before, it can benefit you, or also it can destroy you. All right? Very, very important. About the world in general is powerful. If you're on the lookout to be better versed about your credit, consulting your FICO score could be a great place to start. A FICO score is a powerful measure of your credit worthiness as a lender might see it. That's true. And it tells a lot about you. It tells a lot about you. In your credit score, and my father-in-law used to say, I can look at a person's credit score and his bank account, and I can tell you where his priority is, and I can tell what kind of person he is. And that is so true. I didn't understand that when I was younger. When he said that probably 20 years ago, I never said, but now I understand. It is so true. What you spend your money on, how you manage your money. Your credit score will tell me a whole lot about you. In your checkbook, tell me a whole lot. All right.